Hi everyone. I'm here today to critique your pattern assignment, and this video is for the spheres. So we're gonna start with Emily's work, and I'm just gonna go quickly through it. I think she chose to do the egg beater with a grater, which is a great idea. Guess this is the half drop one. I really love this one. I'll talk about it in a bit. Okay. So overall, I think you have great craftsmanship, and like I can really tell that you spent so much time just cutting all of these little pieces, and they look like really well cut. So like again, your craftsmanship is amazing. And not only that, but like the design elements that you used are really clever. Like your use of negative and positive space is really well done. I think this one's my favorite. I just think the movement is so nice, and I can really see this like tiled and printed in like fabric or textiles. And I would love to see this one in color. That would be so much fun. Actually, when I see this one, I like picture it animating, like just going around. So I think that's very good. That like again, talking about execution, like your cutouts are like super clean and nice and crisp. It almost looks like you did it on Illustrator, but it's actually paper, so that's amazing. And yeah, I think you really understood the different elements, the different types of pattern, and great documentation as well, really clear. I think for this one, I wish I could see it more typographically, if that makes sense. Like I guess I can see the G, or if it's inspired by a G, but um maybe just making it a little bit more literal. Doesn't have to be too much. But yeah, I wouldn't really see the typographic on this one if if it wasn't part of the assignment. I wouldn't really recognize it as that. But other than that, great job. This one's really nice too. I'll again like see it tiled in fabric or textiles. Thank you, Emily. Now we're gonna talk about Judy's. Just gonna go through them quickly again. Half drop. I think for this one, you could have really taken advantage of the egg beater and whichever other cooking tool that you chose in your favor, because I think right now it's just a little bit too simple, like almost too basic, you know, like you could have used other forms that you took from inspiration from the egg beater or the other kitchen tool that you chose. Yeah, there's not much to talk about for this one, so I kind of just wish you were a little bit more creative with it. Interesting. This one kind of reminds me of like paper cutouts that you cut when you're like in school with like colored paper. Just fun. This one I thought was really nice. Like I can really see this being typographic, and at the same time it almost looks like a face as well. So like I do enjoy the simplicity of this one. It works. Versus like the other one where it's like almost too simple because it's a half drop and like you want it to be a little bit more dynamic. This one I would say would have been a lot more successful if like these little corners that you see over here were more opened, and you would have allowed more of an open flow where like it's more interactive between negative and positive space. Like right now it's just a little awkward and sometimes almost like accidental where it like touches. I'm assuming that was your original idea, and because of execution, you couldn't really, get those as open, perfect spaces as you wanted. If you did, you would have done it in computer. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say, because it's a little bit awkward right now. And this one is nice. I think it could help to have a little bit of shift in scale. Like maybe these are like bigger, and then you have like differences between the three shapes, you know, because right now it's almost a little bit too static because they're all in the same size range. So I think just playing with scale would be really useful. But overall, pretty good documentation as well. I think the first one, it's a little weird, like it has some like bluish tint. I'm not sure if that was a picture or a scan, but the other scans look better. It's just this one. But yeah, thank you, Judy. And now let's talk about Dawn. Great cover. So clean, like your documentation is incredibly crisp and clear. It almost looked like an illustrator drawing. Like the quality and the execution, both in documenting and in cutting the paper, it's really amazing. Like I can tell you spent a lot of time cutting these little pieces. I'm almost like super amazed because they do look like super similar, like computerized. Just gonna go through them. This one again is so clean and crisp. I love the little bee. That's so sweet. And like again, I can like definitely see this printed even on like a kitchen tile or like just again like clothing or textiles. I think it's so nice the use of positive and negative space that you employed, and I like that you added the little bee so it's not as simple or predictable. Like I can see this little bee just getting repeated on each tile. That's really nice. And I think this is your, like you did 5 more with letter forms. That's amazing. Again, I'm like honestly like so surprised at like how clean and crisp all of these are. I like how the E is almost in disguise over here. Like if I didn't know that it was supposed to be typographic, like it would have taken me a while to notice that it was an E. And then when I see it, I just read it as like E. And I like that. I love this one almost even more than the one that you did, like just the normal one without the type. I think the calligraphic elements like play super nice with this layout. And like again, like I love how not so obvious like it is, because if you pay attention to it, like you can tell it's like a G and an E and a G and an E. But it could also be like scribbles, you know, and I think that's what makes it really special. It almost like it becomes like from letter form to like shape, and I think that's super nice. And again, I'm like wondering how, I mean, I guess this is maybe a white marker that you use, because I don't think you cut that out. But if you cut that out, like I mean that's amazing because that's super thin. And again, the little honeycomb thing, it's super cute. I think I like it. I mean, I like both versions, with or without the letter forms. I think it works really well. And again, I like how you're not being super obvious with type. Like again, this is a G, obviously, but this one could be an E, but could also be just like a random scribble. And I think that's very successful. And again, the use of negative and positive space, really well done. And thank you for labeling all of your patterns. But yeah, amazing work, super clean, amazing documentation. I can't believe you cut this well. I can't even do that. So thank you, Dawn. Now we're gonna talk about Austin. Wow, from the get-go, I love this one. Like the use of negative and positive space is super well done. You definitely took advantage of it. How like these two shapes are the same but inverted, they have such a different impact. Like I literally just noticed that it's the same shape, but this one like looks more like a ring, and obviously this one looks more like a sun. So like I think that's super well done. This one in color would be so much fun. Super well done as well. Symmetry is amazing. Like I don't know how you guys are like cutting this so nicely that it almost looks like computerized. Like all of these pieces are super consistent. Super nice play with like inverting colors with positive and negative space again. I love these little thingies. They're so fun and delicate, and it adds a lot to the movement. So I think that's super, super successful. I really like this one. Whoa. This one's amazing. Like it almost looks like a drawing. Again, like great craftsmanship. You did an amazing job. Like it almost looks painterly from how perfect your cutouts are. And I really, really appreciate that. And I liked how this one was almost like a different play on the letter form. Like to me, it almost looks like an R, to be honest. Like I can see it as an R. I'm assuming it's a G. Could also be a weird E. But I like how playful this one is. And I'm guessing you also got inspired by the egg beater doing this one. Like you turned the G into an egg beater. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I can see that. And I like the repetition of it. I can definitely see this one tiled, and I like the ambiguity of like you never would have known that it's a letter form. So that's amazing. Great craftsmanship and super well done documenting, super clean. Oh, this one, did we skip this one? This one is so nice. I love the little dots, and these almost look like pickles or like a peanut or something. I can see this in a kitchen for sure. And I know that you're probably inspired by some kitchen gadget or the egg beater, but I'm telling you, like it looks like food to me, and I really like that. So great job, Austin. Thank you, Spheres. All of your work was honestly amazing and super well documented.